Good morning, friends. How are y'all this morning? I'm so glad to be with you. This morning, I'm excited. I get to share with you the story of the Ten Commandments and how God gifted His people the Ten Commandments through Moses. And do you know the Ten Commandments? Do you know these? Do you know? So some of them that you may have heard is "Thou shalt not steal," "Thou shalt not worship no other gods but me." Thou shalt not covet your neighbor's things. Basically, don't want what your neighbors have. There's 10 of them, but they are rules, and they're rules that God lovingly gave His people. And you wonder sometimes, why would God give His people these rules? Well, I got a couple of examples, so I'll show you, okay? One thing is I want to show you some of the games that I have just lying around my house. So, does any of you know, has any of you played this game? Color Brain? This is a fun one. This one, it's a game all about guessing the color of things, and it's lots of fun. It's all Disney, which is my favorite. So you guess, what was the color of Donald Duck's shirt or something. Let's see if I can open this. Oh, yeah, see? Here's the instructions. So it tells us all, look, the rules, right? So that's fun. So we can play that game. And then we have this game, which is always fun. Hilton Head Monopoly. You guys like this one? This one's fun. Look. Tells you all about how to play it. Game playing. Instructions. Isn't that fun? I like that one too. Now, some of you might have this game. Mine is like falling apart. My box is falling apart, but Twister. Now Twister is so old, there's no instructions. But for the most part, you can look at the picture and you could probably tell how to play Twister. And most of us have played it in our lives. So for some of you newbies that haven't played, we can always teach you how to play. This is one of my family's favorite games, King of Tokyo. This game is epic. It's so fun. Now I will say that we do have the instructions here, which is really great. There's actually a lot of instructions. You see? There's a lot of instructions to this game. But my family's played it so many times that I think we could probably share with you. Now, if you were to have it, you would need the instructions to know how to play, wouldn't you? What about these games? Does anybody remember these games? Your parents might. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. These are the old Nintendo games. And Nintendo was fun for me. But it didn't come a lot with instructions. What about this? There's these games out now. These are Nintendo Switches, right? I can tell you this. Even with instructions, Miss Shelly still can't play this. I get so confused. I like a good old-fashioned dice rolling game. But this one... Now, do you think it would drive you absolutely crazy if I gave you, say King of Tokyo? We'll say that one, because I think most of you out there could figure out how to play this. But if I gave you this without the instructions, do you think you'd know what to do with it? And even if you made up your own game, do you think it would be as much fun as it intended, as the people that created it to be as intended? You see, God gave His people this gift of rules to live by. And yeah, life would be a bit chaotic. We might be able to figure some things out. But boy, is it awesome to have rules that God gave us. I know that if I follow those 10 rules, Mr. Isaac's mother used to tell him that they were 10 rules to a happy life. And I think that's so wonderful. You know, God gave us these rules, and sometimes when we get rules, we want to feel like we're being forced to do something, or these restrictions. And it's not that these were restrictions, because if you don't steal from your neighbor, then you're showing love to your neighbor, right? If you don't want the things that your neighbor wants all the time and constantly feeling jealous and envious of your neighbor, then on the inside of yourself, you're not feeling all that ugly inside. You're feeling actually pretty good because you're appreciating what you have and loving what you have. If we are to, it says one of the commandments is that thou shalt not worship any other gods. And God's just saying, hey, don't look to all these other things around you. Don't let all these other things take up your time and all the time that I give you, and take up this precious moment here on earth that it takes away from me. So God is asking you to not have all these other things. Like if you're constantly doing this and you don't take a break, you know, you're spending a lot of time with this, and God just asks you to spend a little bit more time with Him, right? Amen. Well, I hope that I see you guys, those of you that have RSVP'd, I hope that I can see you today at 4 o'clock for a messy church. There are a few rules, but it's just to keep everyone safe, and there are there's going to be some games and some fun things for us to do. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope that you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you soon.